Nilah has the hardest and worst laning phase out of all ADCs, and it is the main reason why most players hate playing her. But what if I told you there are many tricks to making her lane phase a lot easier? Hey, it's Enryu, and today I have 4 laning scenarios to teach you most likely everything you will ever need to know about the rules of playing Nilah ADC. Each scenario will be labeled, so feel free to skip through the timestamps to the matchup you want, but I recommend watching the full video and all 4 scenarios to fill in any gaps of knowledge that you may have. And once you have mastery over Nilah's laning, you will have a much easier time climbing to the rank you want because that is the hardest part. Once Nilah scales, she is a complete monster and can take over any game. So I hope you enjoy. Alright, so for this game we have an Enchanter versus Enchanter matchup. This is very common on at least the North American server. I don't know how often it happens on other servers, but you can let me know down in the comments below. So this is kind of like like a shield versus shield, and it's poke on their side of the lane, whereas we have to kind of just defend, right? So I can't walk up as per usual. If you watch my videos enough, you'll know that we basically never are able to walk up unless we have like a hook support or the enemies are very weak level 1, which is honestly quite rare. But we're gonna get poked out here for sure if we walk up, so we want to stay back. And then I do want to get this minion right here. Okay, we got that. And then, okay, Janet got that one, but honestly I feel like she should have saved her stack for the ones that are behind. Yeah, we're already getting poked out. Janna's below half. I'm pretty healthy, which is the good thing. And the only way to really win this lane is to find an opportunity either at level 6 or maybe under tower at level 3. So on this wave, likely we'll not be able to fight. It's just simply too hard. And our main focus should just be getting the farm as much as humanly possible, right? Obviously, we're not going to get every single one because the CS is going to be really messed up due to them pushing in and then the tower also hitting the minions. It's not going to be ideal, but we're going to try our best here. So right now, Ezreal has 15. Okay, I feel like she should really just let me get the ones that I can get. Otherwise, it just like makes things a lot worse. But okay, we're down 4 CS. That's honestly... I mean, it's not that it's good on me, it's just like their Ezreal missed too much CS. So it's not even good that I have 11. I should have like maybe at least 2 more on average. But it's okay, we'll try to recover from this. Again, we're stuck on a tower, nothing much we can do. Like, I can try to get this one, but I'm going to tank like HP for it, right? It's just a trade-off. That's just how Nilah works. Oh, that guy dashed in, but China doesn't have a tornado for it, so we can't really hit the Ezreal. Alright, so we got 15, which means we got 4 of the last 6. It's honestly not that bad. But I think it's time to ward in case they dive. They should dive this. Theoretically speaking, the Rek'Sai is like a really easy dive jungler, so most likely getting dove. I'd be very surprised if Karma is there when the Rek'Sai doesn't want to dive. But maybe they're just psychopaths. Alright then, I guess they're just psychos. Galio lives with 1 HP. Hopefully they don't get double killed mid, but it is looking that way. Karma's walking up most likely. Alright, so Ezreal actually eat in for some reason, so I'm gonna walk up here. Gonna block his PTA with my W so that he can't proc it. I think we can actually kill. Honestly, it's just a jungle gap. Okay, but we're back in lane again. It's just the usual, it happens. I guess we shouldn't have tried to go for that kill. Maybe it was a mistake, but like I feel like the Ezreal should die there every time. Again, we max C because her E just gives cooldown and plus 10 damage versus like Q that only gives 10 damage. It's like, her Q is like very useless now. I'm pretty sure in one of the other laning scenarios I accidentally just autopilot and max Q, but you're supposed to max E only now. Okay, Karma missed it. And there's not much I can do. Okay, this guy, that's just sad. And we kill one, but we're probably all dead here. Enemy team are just 2 1v9. But yeah, they are getting a lot of help, the spot lane. So we're just not doing too well, but it's fine. I think we should be able to get a kill here, because we have a level 6 advantage. Ezreal has no barrier if Nami or Janna tanks for me. Can get a kill, nice, that's really good. It's okay if Janna dies here, it's not like the biggest deal. Giving Ezreal some gold is whatever. I think we just recall here. Enemies will just walk out of base really quickly, so we don't have time to push out waves anymore this season. We definitely do not want to like... Okay, like this is just extremely cringe, I'm not gonna lie. Enemy jungle has a UAV. So yeah, again, we're getting kind of jungle gapped here, but it is what it is. We already recovered the lane pretty much, because we just got 2 kills. Have a BF sword plus 40 AD. This is very, very good for the game. So as long as we just stabilize and not die anymore, it's completely fine. I mean, Rek'Sai was already fed in the first place, so him getting this is just, it's whatever. I will have to buy a lot of armor this game though, I think. Or maybe not a lot, just steel caps and death stance eventually. So this game we're just gonna try. I mean, for now, we should try to stabilize, because I have 42 CS, that's extremely bad. Even in a matchup like this, I should have way more, but there has been way too much fighting. We have been ganked, like, way too much, so try to stabilize. Starting with this wave, right? Try to get every single one. If Ezreal walks up on this cannon when it's getting low, I might just try to EQ him. But if he doesn't, okay. There we go. We can try to get a good trade on him. Now we just back off. And then he's gonna have his W and E up before I do, so I probably just want to back off here. Like, just play safe. He's gonna choose to W me whenever I try to farm, so let's just try not to give him that angle until I have W up again. When I have W up, then I'm very safe. Or at least my ult. So right now I'm thinking about an opportunity where I get to kill him. And if it's 1v1... Oh, okay, I dodged it, that's good. But yeah, if he tries to go in on me here, I would just kill him. Because I have everything up again, 2 dashes. I can even look for like an EQ angle right here if he walks up again. But most likely he would just stay back. Okay, he's staying back. I mean, it's pretty smart of him. Because if he walks up any further, I'm just gonna dash onto a minion and just ult him. And probably just flash after him. Alright, so I think I just try to break this. Break the Rek'Sai tunnel for 5 gold. And, I mean, I don't know if I'm getting ganked, but it could be possible that they just run straight bot. I'm just gonna take a slight risk here and say like they won't, because I think Ezreal probably recalled. If they stayed, then, I mean, they're just too good at the game. But yeah, now I got to recall. In this case, I probably just want to buy my last component for Yuntao, which is Scout Slingshot. It's not the best item to buy. I usually like to buy it last because like the stats it gives for the gold is just not very useful. But in this case, we just need a little bit of gold for Yuntao. Afterwards, we're going to build Shield Bow, I think. Yeah, Shield Bow looks pretty good. And probably just LDR third, because they have a pretty tanky front line this game. It's just Galio, Malphite, Rek'Sai. I don't really build LDR as often anymore, but this is probably one of the games for it. Other games, I usually just go Mortar Reminder, because it's cheaper. Okay. I get to pull them in here. I'll save my W, though. Actually, I won't save it anymore because I have a Nezreal PTA incoming. If we're getting ganked again, I just want to leave. But this is like quite cringe. This should always be like 1 kill for us. We're just getting ganked like very, very often. Like they are at every single play we make, which is just unfortunate. But some of these games will just be like this. You just gotta deal with it. I mean, they did... I actually forgot what sums they used because I was distracted by the gank. Maybe they didn't use any sums there. But yeah, we're down 20 CS, should be able to close the gap soon. That karma hurts. It's okay though. I'll get this in, and then... I mean, that's kind of cringe, but it is what it is. Okay, my Janna let me dash or no? Like, just let me dash, bro. You could avoid all this if you just let me dash to you. I mean... It's fine. Nilah is a new character, so it's understandable what people don't know about her. In this case, my Janna didn't know that I could dash to her. It is what it is. Kiana's in their jungle, probably dead. I have to recall though, there's no way I'm staying. Just gonna let whatever happen, happen. Alright, well, they're probably getting 2 dragons off this. Our mid laner isn't doing too well, and honestly, Janna isn't the most useful champion. I don't think they can kill, they're just gonna get sandwiched. But maybe with Akali TP we can win a fight. I can walk, but I'm a bit far. Looks like we can get to the fight. though. They're kind of grouping up. Bro, where's my teammates? Okay, nice. We're making it. I have a dash on this guy in 2 seconds as long as he doesn't E. Ah, he has it. Nice. Alright, that was really good. Only sacrificed Janna for 4 kills. I think Rengar probably has this, but I want to hit the thing at least like once so I can get the... Actually, my quest is done. I don't need it. But yeah, we're going to push out this wave because it's a pretty bad wave to let it stay like this. And then try to deny the enemies, but they most likely will be back to lane on time. And again, we don't want to overstay because this season the enemies will get back to lane very, very quickly. Like, you will too, but if you overstay, you will just get caught, just like how we did last time. So yeah, in this case, we basically went through like most of lane phase already. We went from suffering, getting ganked, to solo killing, and then we went to help a teammate with, you know, like a skirmish, right? So this is basically like the main thing about this matchup. Like any range versus range matchup in the support row, and then like enemy has like a poke ADC or something, or just anything with range like a Caitlyn, it's gonna be like this. You're gonna go down CS, but the moment you hit 6, or the moment that you can see like, you know, there's people fighting in your jungle and you can go help them, try to go there, get kills, and just try to outplay after level 6. Level 6 is your timer, because your ult is very powerful versus champions like that. Like this, right? I can just go walk up to him like this and damage him. And then we'll win the trade, just because I have more damage to him. Even though I had to use... Okay, I don't know what Janna's doing, but... Okay, I got him on my flash. Probably can't kill Karma though, she has flash too. It's okay. Not the worst. We can play until the tower dies. But yeah, I will not greed for it though, because again, this season, you really do not want to greed. I can go back here for a shield bow, I can buy cloth armor, this is like perfect. My co is finishing really late, which is sometimes why I don't like buying this, but I think I had like decent gold for it, so I just bought it anyways. Alright, well, I want to get this red buff, but at the same time, I think I'm losing too much. Red buff would kind of help me though, in this lane. So maybe I go get it after this wave. Looks like supports are already roaming. I'll just clear this and go red buff. Finish my code too. Our allies are dying. Probably can't kill this Rek'Sai though, he's a little bit too slippery. Even if I try to go for this. Okay, he's already out. Or he's going back in. Okay, not my fight. By the time I get there, Malphite is gone, I'll just walk back to lane. Like as per usual, I can always look for angles, but you have to kind of see if it's worth it or not. In this case, I don't want to give up this whole wave just to walk mid for Malphite. So let's try to get this tower. As per usual, when the tower is gone, I consider that to be like lane phase being over, so... As long as the tower is not dead, I don't want to go anywhere else. I can try to poke him out here. Like that's kind of like the price you pay when you use your E. Like, kind of like in a dumb way. Like there's no way bro gets to live. Or like no way bro gets to get away with it. If you have a dash, like you're playing a dash champion into Nilah and use your dash right in front of her to like get onto her or just to poke her, you should expect to lose most of your health. That's just... Like the only weakness of Nilah is that she's a melee champion, right? So if you let her get... Like if you're getting closer on your own accord, like... Can you let me dash, bro? Can you let me dash, bro? Like, please. Thank you. It's not that hard, but yeah. We survive here because shield bow is OP. I saw a barrier up, but it's quite disturbing how my guy is just not letting me play the game. And even now, like my Janna is just trying to let me die here. I'm gonna try and kill Ezreal here. Just too many people. Like look at my Janna full health just standing far away. It's fine though. The turret is dead, so lane phase is over. Let's just go skip on to the next scenario. But do let me know if you want to see the rest of this game, but I just think we're gonna win this game regardless, because I'm gonna scale really hard, and like them sending people on me like this is just going to lose them the game. We should be able to get next dragon. So, you know, if you want to see a game, let me know down in the comments below. I'll try to post this. But otherwise, we're going down to the next scenario. Thank you for watching. So in this lane, we have Nilah Pyke versus Jhin Nautilus. This matchup is a bit different, and as you can see, we actually are able to play level 1 because we burned the Jhin's flash. So having a hook is definitely very different, like a completely different dynamic compared to having an Enchanter or like a Mage support. You can actually try to play aggressive, but unless something like this happens where you're able to burn enemy flash level 1, I would still recommend not fighting. So lane starts, we're able to hit the wave here. If you can get the first hit on the wave, it's usually not bad if you're not in danger. In this case, like I'm just like looking at my Pyke 1v1 the Nautilus, and then now I kind of have to help my Pyke because now they're focusing him. With the Nautilus, Nautilus is getting low, flash for the kill. Jhin has no flash, but I don't really want to die to him, right? Because we are low and he is Jhin, therefore we're just gonna try and just stay back. Pyke dies, which is unfortunate, but at the end of the day, it is a 1-for-1, so it's not the worst. And now we're walking back here. We do have some gold to spend. We could buy a Ko plus health pot if we wanted to, but staying is definitely a bad idea because we don't have summoner spells anymore, and Jhin is really good at executing low HP targets, so we definitely want to recall here. But we come back with a Ko plus health pot. This is the best buy we can get, and I recommend buying Ko if you can always afford it on your first base. Like if you have like an awkward gold where you can't afford anything else. And Pyke hooks in here, but there's really nothing. You definitely don't want to miss a wave like this to try and kill the enemies. Always prioritize the minions. Even if you're under tower, the enemies are hooked under tower, unless they're just like completely dead, right? Securing those minions will be a lot more beneficial to your game than getting extra like 200-300 damage onto the enemies. So unless it's a completely free kill, which usually you can tell, like in this case they're full health, so there's no way we're killing them. You know, unless there's a case like that, you should just farm your minions. And now it looks like the enemies want a base here. I'm trying to hold a freeze here. Even though we are slightly under-leveled because Jhin is level 3, we can hold a freeze because they want to recall, right? So that's their intent. When they want to do something, normally as an ADC or like any role in general, you want to not let the enemies do what they want to do. So I want to keep him in lane because I have a Ko, I have a slight advantage. He has a kill, but he hasn't spent the gold yet. In this case, they walk up to us, I W his 4th shot, Pyke ends up following up, and then we're just autoing him. And I'm saving my dash because I know this guy has no flash, but in case he runs, I want to be able to catch up to him, right? So that's another kill. And that's also, you know, despite me missing like my minions, that is also a reason why you should not let them do what they want to do. Because Pyke was low, but Jhin really wanted to recall. What did we get by not letting Jhin recall? He stayed for an extra wave, greeted, and got caught, right? So that's kind of like the gist, and kind of like the way you kind of want to play laning phase. Obviously, it doesn't just apply to this matchup, but many more matchups as well. You just kind of have to, like, you kind of just have to figure out a way to kind of put things in your favor. And I don't know if that makes sense, but anyways, we're back with the BF sword. In this case, with the BF sword, we're a lot more stronger. 1300 gold is the strongest buy you can have for mostly any ADC. There are some on-hit ADCs that don't want a BF sword, but any crit ADC, if you can get a BF sword, it's like a god buy, right? Sets you up for the early game really well. And Nautilus gets hooked here, but nothing we can really do. There's not much we want to do right now. We kind of are ahead already. We just want to stabilize and just keep our lead, right? Because Nilah gets extra EXP, you just want to keep on abusing her passive, get your support to level 6 faster, get to level 6, and that's when you have a much more clear win con, right? When you're level 6, if the enemies have flash as Nilah, you just try to burn their flash with your ult. If they have no flash, then you try to go for the kill, right? Very simple. It's just kind of like, it's not even a formula, it's kind of just like a conditional. It makes the game very simple, very easy to understand, and you don't need much thinking. It's as simple as, can I kill this guy? Does he have flash, right? And then Pyke roams mid here after we get Dragon. Getting Dragon is really good for the game now, nowadays, because Dragon Soul is probably the most OP thing that you can have in the game. But since Pyke is roaming, you just have to stay back, right? Like, you kind of see me just standing back here, but the truth is, there's not much to do even if the wave is frozen. Like, if I walk up and hit, then Nautilus will try to hook me, try to CC me, and then Jhin will just do his combo on me, right? So I just have to wait for the wave to push back. But then the enemies stay here while Pyke is back, so I try to ult on the enemies. We burn Jhin flash, it is what it is. As long as we can get out, it's a good trade for us. So Nilah splashes on me here. Viego also goes on us here. You know, the fact that we both live this is pretty insane. I feel like one of us should have died. But yeah, it's just a combination of luck and playing well. Unfortunately, Pyke ends up staying anyways, which I think is not the best, because I feel like we could have both just lived. But I know how to cut losses, because I've been in these situations many times before. It's always better to just give up the wave and live, rather than die and also lose the wave, right? Like, I feel like that should be obvious. But it takes me a long time to understand, because sometimes it feels really terrible. Like, you're just like, okay, maybe I can get away with it if I'm lucky, right? Maybe they won't kill me. But that's kind of like a bad mindset to have. And then we end up living, which also gives us the opportunity to secure the rest of these minions, right? So pretty good for us. In this case, I kind of want to keep going. I don't want to just recall on this, because I feel like the enemies just used their timer. They're not going to be back like anytime soon, right? Like, they just recalled. It's like physically impossible for them to be on the map back in bot lane again. So I cleared that wave before recalling. And now that I'm back, we're just continuing our farm. We have our Yuntao now. And then gonna pull the Jhin in. We know he has no flash from last time. The rest is just finishing off the kill, right? Keep hitting Nilah, but we know this isn't a kill. I'm not even sure why he flashed, to be honest, because I don't think we have enough damage to kill the guy. Gotta play it, just back off. So far I hope everything has been kind of simple to follow. I don't think I'm showcasing some crazy mechanics. Most of playing Nilah when you have a hook champion is actually quite simple, which is why I really like playing with hook champions like, you know, Thresh, Pyke, Nilah, stuff like that. Because if they land a hook, you just make this decision to go in or not. It's very simple. You don't have to do mental gymnastics with like, oh, if I had a Lulu, will this Lulu just shield me? Will it be enough? Etc. You don't have to think any of that. It's just simply, okay, this hook landed. Is it good? Is it bad? Right? Very simple. So once you get the hang of it, you'll probably like playing with engage supports a lot more, because their timers are very obvious. But yeah, now we're back to lane again. Same protocol. Nothing really changed. Our plan is still the same, right? In this case, Nilah goes in on us, ignites me. He doesn't ult me for some reason, which I don't know why, so I'm just able to free hit him. He's dead. And now we just keep on chasing the Jhin. And now it's kind of awkward because Viego's here. Jhin has an ult. I pop barrier. Maybe I didn't need to do it, but just in case anyways. And now we're just on the run, right? We're just running away. Hopefully Pyke doesn't hook Viego into me, because I really don't want to die, but again, a slight overstay by Pyke. Completely fine though, because I'm alive. In a matchup like this, or like in games like these in general, support dying is not that much, like, it doesn't have as much impact on the game as an ADC dying, because support players, they don't need to farm, right? They can have 0 CS every single game and still be alright because they're support. But as an ADC, once you start dropping farm, it's really bad for your scaling, for your percentage chance of winning the game, and you definitely want to just be alive for like every single stage of the game to actually maximize your chances of winning. So very important skill. Not saying I'm a perfect player. I do still die a lot. I get caught a lot. I still kind of, I kind of mess up a lot. But being able to recognize like, okay, I made a mistake here, therefore I'll try not to do that next time, is going to be a big step, in your journey climbing to whatever elo you want to climb in, or climb to, sorry. And laning phase is over after the turret in this scenario, but because they decide to stay, I'm going to go in on them. In this case, I can pretty much 1v2 as long as I can hit the Jhin. But he kind of runs pretty far away after Nilah is here, so have to let Pyke take the kill Nilah as well. And afterwards, Viego shows up after his bot lane loses to 2v2. I have my W up, so it's like that guy kind of does no damage because it's Nilah versus Viego. And that's basically it for this scenario. I know usually I end it when a tower dies, but in this case I had one more fight to show in the bot lane, so why not, right? So in the next scenario, we're gonna see Nilah with the melee champion versus a WuMei lane. So now we have Nilah Taric, which is kind of one of the kind of pairings that a lot of people ask me about, Nilah Taric. Honestly, I think Taric is a bit OP right now, and he's not bad with Nilah, it's just that champion is very one-dimensional, like he can only run at people and try to stun them. But this is Taric, which is a melee champion, no hook, versus Varus WuMei, right? So Varus WuMei really isn't like the best lane. It's probably one of the worst because you're playing a mobile ADC with no defensive mechanism, like no defense abilities, plus a Yuumi, so you're just asking to die. But in this case, one engage, we get to burn his flash, he walks back up, I flash on him, and that's a kill. So you might be thinking like, okay, what's so special about this scenario, right? Well, this scenario is basically when you have engaged, but it's not a hook. So what I mean by this, last game we just saw Pyke, right? Pyke is same category as like Nautilus, Thresh, hook champions, right? Blitzcrank. In this case, Taric is more similar to champions like, let's say, Rel, who have engaged, but it's not like hooking them into you, if that makes sense. So again, in this case, we get a kill, so we go back home, we buy a Cold plus Longsword. We generally want the wave to push into us. Taric keeps engaging like this, which honestly isn't the best because we kind of just want to wait for them to get on our side first, right? When you have a support like this, or actually just any support in general, you want the wave to be on your side so you can decide what to do. You can either freeze it, you can either fight them, but if you are going to be in front of their tower, it's going to be very, very difficult to actually try and get an advantage when you have no range. Right, so right here in this scenario, you kind of see how the lack of range and no hook kind of makes it tricky to get onto enemies. Like Varus and Yuumi are not very strong, but if they keep their distance, there's nothing much we can do to them, right? So there's a lesson in that. In this case, you're just going to try your best. As long as you can farm, you're doing fine. And then Taric engages here. Kha'Zix goes on Taric, but we don't have to be afraid, honestly. We do have our cleanse, we do have our spells. W Taric here to make sure that he is able to survive. And then because we have enough fighting, like honestly, Nilah Taric is very strong when they have champions that run into you, right? Just like that, and you're able to just fight and kill them. So this right here is kind of like an example of why you shouldn't be afraid and kind of just limit test. Because if your support is being focused, you should not be afraid to do damage unless you know you're gonna, like, you know you're probably gonna die if you do that, right? But I was full health, and if I just keep running, they would just keep chasing. But if I fight with my support, such as in that case right there, the enemies will keep getting low, they'll be afraid, and you're kind of just like forcing them to either stay or die. So that's that lesson. Don't be afraid to fight if your support is fighting and taking all the damage for you. It's never going to end well if you just run and let your support die, right? Or like maybe you live there, but you don't get a kill or two, and then your support might be mad, right? Or they just die for free. Now that we're back in lane, this is another important thing. Whenever you are ahead, you want to make sure that you have the ability to freeze. What do I mean by this? When there's a wave coming into you, or just like a few minions coming to your tower, if you can set up a freeze, given that you know your HP is high enough, your mana is good, and you have the ability to fight, you want to freeze the wave. Because look, if you freeze the wave like this, the enemies need to do so much just to get a single minion of farm, right? They have to use their abilities, they have to use mana. They can't just walk up to you because you can just kill them, right? So this is very important. This works if you have an Enchanter or a hook, or even like a support like Taric, as long as you set it up right. In this case, we can set it up because we have one type of CC, right, which is Taric. Maybe it's harder if you have a Yuumi, but even if you do, let's say like this time you have a Yuumi, but you are a bit stronger, you can still catch the enemies with the Yuumi slow on her Q plus Yuumi ult. So no reason not to really set up a freeze, you're just kind of hurting yourself. Or I guess like you're not hurting yourself, but in a way you're not getting the advantage that you should be getting. But yeah, as we continue this freeze, we have to realize that at some point it's going to end, or we have to recall or anything like that, right? Because you can't just stay here forever. So eventually my Taric goes in, Varus flashes, that's fine, we burn his flash, we'll just wait for our next engage, right? Because I have flash, I can just wait for my next ult, which is in 2 minutes, and at that time he still would not have flash. So that's like going back to the other rules that we talked about in the previous scenarios, we're just still playing by our win con. Like you can see that every matchup is quite different, you have to approach it differently, but at the end of the day, the core principles of how you can play Nilah to get an advantage or win lane phase, win a game, it's very similar, right? It's not like anything crazy, it's conditionals. You know, do they have flash? Can you kill them? Are you stronger? Stuff like that. And now our jungle is getting invaded, so enemies do get to farm here because it's 1v2, but I'm gonna try and just like poke this guy out or just like get him out of the lane. Varus comes back, we end up stunning him, and then that's a kill right there. Right, that was a little bit more risky, it wasn't guaranteed, but Pretty much I just didn't invest anything that was too crazy. Like I didn't flash at him since the beginning, right? I flashed him when I realized I could kill him. So that's kind of how you have to approach the fights. You want to be non-committal. You want to kind of just go in, hit them when you know you're stronger, and see how they react. If they burn everything and you can just get it for free, like you don't have to burn anything to burn your sums, that's perfectly fine. You know, if you have to flash for it because you realize you can kill them, that's good as well. And now we come back to lane, we realize that we have another freeze, right? That is building up because the enemies have more minions than we do. We can kind of just relax and kind of just take minions one by one. And we know that the enemy Varus has no flash, right? Because why? We just saw him use it. So we have like something to build up for him. In this case, Tarek engages, but this is not very good because one, if I follow him, I'm kind of breaking my freeze. But I held the minions long enough such that like we can still freeze it. It's just the guy is really low HP now, so I kind of have to protect him and go in, which is not ideal. But we get a kill on the Varus, so it is what it is. I just lost a lot of minions. That was quite unnecessary, and it kind of gives the Varus some kind of leeway back into the game. And then now I realize I do have a bounty, right? Like I have a shutdown, so I might as well just try to kill Yuumi and give it. In this case, it's not bad at all. Giving Yuumi 700 gold is better than giving it to their carries because they have like Nico, Kha'Zix, Fiora, Varus. If I give it to Yuumi, it's like the best possible outcome. So it is what it is. You don't have to do this. I just do it because I really wanted to win this game and I didn't want to risk like giving an enemy carry the gold, or like I know they will try to kill me over and over again, right? They will keep trying until I die. So might as well die to the Yuumi. Good chance, right? And I'll come back to lane. Lane phase is almost over at this point because the tower is pretty much almost dead and we're really strong, so kind of strong enough to just dive them straight up. So Tarek ults, we go in. This would be very similar if you had a Rel or anything that could just tank the turret. In this case, Tarek is just, you know, especially good at tanking the turret. Probably didn't need to flash there because I think I was safe. But yeah, this is basically the lane phase for playing with a melee engage without a hook versus longer range. So this is one of the matchups that I've been asked to kind of talk about. So it's like when you have a mage support versus like scaling bot lane or range, poke, etc. So with a mage support, usually like you don't have any way of getting onto the enemies, and also they don't Q you, so you don't have sustain, right? Which means that laning can be hard. But every support has their advantage. It's just depending on which one it is. In this case, when we have a mage support, let's say like a Vel'Koz, someone that can poke, nothing else, you kind of play off their poke. Now I know that may be obvious, but there are kind of levels to this where you kind of have to like know when to kind of engage, right? When the enemies are low enough or not. So in this case, they're nowhere close to being low. I will probably try to get the minions when they get to our turret, but this is like standard protocol. We don't really do anything until the wave hits our turret, and in this case the enemies actually pushed it quite fast and we got like a lot of EXP. Like we weren't pushed off the wave, right? Whenever the minions were low, I did get the EXP, so this is fine. And now we just have to be a little bit patient. We're gonna get level 3 first before the enemies because we got XP from the previous wave, plus the cannon wave is at our tower. So this is like the ideal situation. I think Vel'Koz maybe took that too fast, but this is when I can engage. Like the Aphelios is low enough. So in this case, probably swap to Lulu right here. Gonna ward this bush. Okay, keep hitting Lulu here. She's dead. And then I just click W, and that's a double kill, right? So I gave up some minions right there in the tower, but again, it's the same formula, regardless of what support you play with. You're looking for the condition where, one, the enemies are under tower, and two, they're just like overextending, right? This happens very often. This is a gem channel game that I'm in. I don't even know anymore, because early season, everyone is like 5,000 OP. I don't really know who I'm playing against, and I actually put a point in my W. I need a permaban for that one, but I meant to do it to my E. I mean, I got out. I wasted Echo's time. It's fine. Yeah, that's exactly the formula you kind of... Well, why is bro over here? I thought he recalled. Uh-oh. Alright. Accidents happen. It's okay. I have a BF sword base though, so it's fine. Regardless, that is the type of formula you want to kind of keep in mind when you're playing the game. Just because you're under tower doesn't mean you can't fight back. Just because there's a huge wave doesn't mean you don't see opportunities, right? So whenever you're under pressure, whenever you're kind of under tower and you're like, okay, I need to focus on this farm, you also have to stare at your screen and then look for opportunities. Like right there, the affiliates got really low, right? So I engaged. And I know that since there's like a long distance that he needs to travel in order to get to like a safe spot, like bro is in front of my tower. Like look at how far he has to walk to get back to his turret, right? If we can chase him down, he's dead for sure. So, okay, I wish I got that CS, but it's okay. So now, well, my team is losing. I don't know how mid is 0-2 this early into the game, but looks like we're gonna have to carry this game. This game is not easy, it looks like. Especially what happened with like Rammus and Vel'Koz, I think, just giving away 2 kills. Wait, actually, something doesn't add up. Who got executed? Did anyone notice? Because I don't know who got executed. But, oh, this is good. I didn't W in time. That kind of sucks. That's on me. Lulu should be dead, but I didn't W in time. I got polymorphed. So that was actually like a good look by Vel'Koz. I was too slow. But it's okay. We should have had that kill. But in this case, I think I'm just gonna mindlessly push this one. It doesn't matter as much. I just want to get a recall in. Because I am quite low. I don't think there's an angle here, even if I go for it, because Nilah's not a champion that can really dive the enemies like that. She has no range, so just back off here. I have a decent buy, so might as well just buy and then come back. My target here is Yuntao, as always. I really like Yuntao still. Yuntao is basically buying 2 items into 1, because like the attack speed, like 70% attack speed, right? It's insane. And you just have to stack up the crit, but that's like pretty manageable because Nilah's melee, so it's like double the speed, or like you stack it twice as fast. So no worry about that. There are other items as well though, like IE first, into Fiend Hunter second. Some people like Essence Reaver, Collector. All those are pretty viable, but in my opinion, I like building like the highest cap or like highest ceiling for her build, and I think that having this is just very valuable because like if you buy something like Collector, Essence, you still need attack speed, right? You still need some form of attack speed, otherwise you're just really slow. You're like a walking, like I don't know, like you're like a, I don't even know how to describe it. But if you have Yuntao, you don't have to ever buy attack speed. You can just itemize into anything you want. So I think having Yuntao really opens up your build if you know your game allows for it. I'm just gonna ult here. Lulu should be dead. I just have to W here. It's fine though. I don't think I'm overextending here. I lost a cannon fetch, so that was really bad. Should have paid more attention, I think. Or like I should have been more mindful. Should not overstay. Because realistically, the 1 auto onto Aphelios doesn't do anything, but the 70 gold that I missed from the minions could have bought me an item, so that's pretty bad on me. And then I probably want to stay for this because I already shoved 1 minion. It's going to push into them anyways. If I don't stay, then I'm kind of just losing minions for free. Oh. Okay. I guess that's how you play with the Mage support. You just let them do their thing. Now you can say that my Vel'Koz is playing good, but regardless, what's important is that the level 2 fight that we took under tower, that was like probably the most important. I'm gonna bury here. I'm gonna die to Lulu. Okay, that's good. So since we're getting Echo ganked anyways, might as well just die to the Lulu. Like giving my shutdown to Lulu is probably the best outcome there. And I like this trick with cashback. It's kind of like a demonic like sequence where I sell my boots so I can afford Yuntao, then I buy it, and cashback gives me enough gold to buy back my boots. It's like, essentially, it's what the rich people do in real life, but we're doing it in a game, and we're still technically down a bit of gold, but it's okay. It lets you get your item faster, which I guess in return, you can get more gold. Honestly, more often than I'd like. I would like to not have to do that, but it's very helpful when you actually do need an item. So, looks like our team, I don't know if they're winning or not. Looks like they're winning. Very nice. Vel'Koz is there too, so maybe it's free. Nice. Looking good. Like, I have a Yuntao, I'm stacking it already. Their Phyllis is stuck on these. I don't even know what he's building, actually. It's probably like a Storm Razor or something. But that brother is starving. And I think once Vel'Koz comes back, we can probably dive him. Probably want to ult him. And Lulu just died, so... actually, Vel'Koz doesn't have his abilities anymore, so we probably back off here. Oh, he flashed. Okay, that's fine. We did burn both ults though, so we probably want to recall soon. This is like the only window where if Echo ganks us, we can die, so... try to avoid that. You kind of always have to like keep asking yourself, like, when am I most vulnerable? When I'm ahead. And if you avoid that period, the game is free. Because the only way you can sell the game is basically at this time. So if you don't do that, then you're kind of golden, you know? So this is not the best buy. Cloak obviously isn't like exactly the best combat item, but I think I'm building into Immortal Shield Bow anyways, and I can't afford the pickaxe, so I don't want to walk out with just a longsword. I'm pretty confident that since I'm fed, the next time I base I will have enough gold, so I just bought the cloak anyways. But normally I really do not recommend buying cloak. This early at least. By itself. But we do have 91 CS, but we are really ahead. Oh, Lulu's in the bush. I thought they recalled, but I guess not. I still take a bit of damage from Lulu, honestly. That champion is not very balanced. But we're gonna try our best here to hit the turret, let Vel'Koz do his thing and poke. So I still gotta be careful, I don't want to lose all my health. So I'm only gonna hit when I can. Like for example, if they're walking up like this, I'll just back off. Okay, and then just push the wave. All you have to do as an ADC, if you have a poke support, is just push the wave, let it get to their tower, and just let your support do the thing until enemies are low enough, right? You basically don't have to do anything extra. And I know that sounds like really mindless and like brainless, but you're doing your job, right?